What am I hearing, please? Why two men are divorcing their husbands? Why? Why am I? What? Why is this trending on my FYP right now? That they are divorcing their husband. Is it not the same people that who always come here to glorify their husband, saying that it is better to get married to a white man than to get married to a black man? Black people are lonely. 99% of black people, they are one parent who either you see the mother training the child alone or you see the father training the child alone. Is that not what they have been so proud to say? Now they are divorcing and their reasons is Sonia, breathe. Welcome to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do what? Subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. I want a very big thank you and a very big shout out to every single one of you liking, commenting, subscribing, dropping commentaries, joining my membership, dropping super thanks. I did not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. Let's go into this video. Credit to the original creators, and for disclaimers, please, this is just for educational purpose, okay? Not to come here and mock anyone, laugh anyone, or defame anyone. So please, educational purposes only. Let's go and watch. I'll be back with commentaries.
It's true that white women are leaving their husbands because of their underreactions. This is it, guys. This is the end of MAGA. Checkmate.
I actually don't have a single friend who is like thrilled with how their husband is reacting to all this. Most of them are describing their husbands as ostriching, sticking their heads in the sand and pretending like nothing is happening. Meanwhile, my friends, their wives, are trying to figure out, how are we going to continue normal life for our children through this? How are we going to prepare and protect ourselves? And their husbands are like, stop being so emotional. You're overreacting. I mean, do we see what's happening? Hello. It's time to wake up. Protect your family. Like, my friends are losing complete faith in their partners at this point. The divorces that are going to happen after all this, it's going to be an unprecedented number because you all are failing your families. White women are leaving their white husbands, and it's all over my FYP. And I want to share my perspective as a white woman, but also as a social worker, about why I'm not surprised, but also about why this is very pivotal. White women around the country just watched the tragedy of what happened to Renee Good. White women are watching the news. They are on TikTok. They are seeing a lot of the chaos breaking out around the country, and they are concerned. They are anxious. They are waking up. And so women are going to their husbands and they're asking them, what's our plan if this comes to our city? What's our plan if things continue to escalate in the country? Did you see what happened? What would I do if that was me? And a lot of white husbands, not surprisingly, are responding with statements like, I don't know what you're worried about. Things are just getting blown up in the media. Turn off the news and relax. What do you mean have a plan? Just comply if you get pulled over. It's not that hard. So essentially, husbands are gaslighting their wives, and the wives are sitting there like, oh, I just came to the protector of the family, right? The protector of the family. And he's telling me I'm overreacting or not to worry. So if you're a white woman and this is you and your husband, or you're a white woman and you are seeing this happen in real time with other women and you're questioning why or what is this about, let's talk about it. Quick disclaimer though, this post is not to make excuses for white women, and it is not to compare their situation to other people's situations or minimize the harm that white privilege has caused in our society.
For a long time, white women have been taught that, whether implicitly or explicitly, right, that protection comes from alignment with a white man. From fathers to husbands to grandfathers, protection has been labeled as something that is accessible to white women as long as they are compliant, as long as they were agreeable, as long as they were blindly trusting of male authority. Now, the patriarchy and white supremacy go hand in hand, right? All throughout history of this country, those two things always go hand in hand. And the patriarchy didn't just position white men in this country as leaders. It also positioned white women in this country as dependents. Dependents that defer to a man, right, for leadership. Dependents that do not question a man. Dependents who hold the belief system that a man knows best, especially in moments of chaos or danger, right? You are supposed to defer to the man in your family. He is the leader. He is the protector. He is the one who will know how to handle this situation the best. Men are our leaders because they are not overly emotional. Men are our leaders because they know how to protect with strength and brute force and all the things that you need in order to be a successful protector. White women are more accepted by their male counterparts when they are subservient, when they do not ask questions, when they follow him blindly, right? They are obedient, they are meek, they are fragile. And so these norms get passed on through generations, right? Women are meek and fragile, and they need men to protect them. Women need to suppress their emotions, their questions, their intuition, if they want male protection. And of course, add in white supremacy, right? White women have historically benefited from their proximity to a white man, right? They get additional privilege from that proximity. A white married woman, a white straight married woman, bonus points if you add in conservative religious, right? But a white married straight woman has access to more privilege than a white single woman or a white lesbian woman, etc. And so, like I said, this has gone on and on and on and on for generations, right? And there are white people who are evil and vile and who relish in their white supremacy, who relish in thinking that they have more power over others, who have learned to weaponize their proximity to power, who take advantage of the hierarchies that the white supremacy male patriarchy has established. Women who would, in real time, bring back things like slavery. But for the women who are not that, the women who have been conditioned to think that protection comes from a white man marrying a white man, right? You're guaranteed this protection. When women were going to their husbands and asking, so what do we do now? And the husbands are dismissing them and the husbands aren't reacting. Women were waking up because they're saying, wait a second. I do all of these things. I voted the way you told me to vote. I don't question the way that you want things done. Maybe I even let you control the house, the finances. I let you lead because you're the strong brute force man. And you're sitting here and saying there's nothing to be worried about when I just saw a woman get shot in the face. And I'm here to break it to you. This is because white men have not had to think about the state, the country, law enforcement, people in power turning on them, because the system was built by them and for them. Now, I'm a white woman, right? Obviously. And I acknowledge and I identify that I have benefited from this system, right? The same system in which, yeah, I am higher in the totem pole when I'm with a white man, yes, but I, even without a white man, have privilege. I have benefited from this system, whether I have wanted to or not. As a white woman, you have to ask yourself, is this proximity to privilege and this perceived protection that I have been conditioned to think that I'm going to get, is that more important morally, ethically, right? Empathically? Is that more important than being on the right side and doing what is right? And I think a lot of women are waking up and questioning, if my husband isn't protecting me, if he's gaslighting me, what do I have to gain from staying in this situation? And just to tie this up with a piece of accountability, right? It does not matter if white women have been conditioned by white men to have certain ideologies or certain beliefs or to utilize the white privilege system. It doesn't matter if we have been conditioned, because at the end of the day, it's not an excuse for the atrocities that have happened at the hands of white people in this country. And it doesn't absolve you of the ways in which you have benefited from the proximity to the creators of the white supremacy patriarchal system, right?
He's not lying, and I'm gonna tell y'all the tea that some white women gave me. Go to any predominantly white area and sit down at the dog park, and this is what will happen. They'll tell you everything. Couple examples. Depressed, miserable, drinking wine and taking Adderall every day. They're out here having affairs. Their husbands are having affairs. They got sick and their husband left them. Straight up left them at their bedside. There's a woman that lives in my neighborhood, and I feel so bad because she has chronic pain like I do. And her husband treats her like shit. Like bad. Very controlling. And there's multiple women in this neighborhood that have told me how badly their husbands treat them. Their white husbands. Now, on the flip side of that, there's tea that I heard from the white husbands. I worked in an office, and there was a group of frat bros. And I heard them say straight up, the only reason why I stay late in the office is so that I don't have to go home to my wife. There were days where we didn't even have to go into the office, like during COVID, and they would all text each other and go into the office and stay there from the crack of dawn till nighttime so that they could be away from their wives. Even my white manager sat me down one day because he knew I was single, and he said, Taylor, don't have kids. I don't even want to be around my wife. So, again, click the comment and you'll understand the backstory of all of this, which is being with a white man does not always equate to roses and daisies and sunshine. Just ask the white women, they'll tell you.
The white ladies are leaving their husbands. They're leaving their white husbands. And I believe it's because of their bitch assness in this moment. Like they're doing the whole ostrich bury your head in the sand thing. And even worse, they're telling their wives they're overreacting. And it's not that serious. And all of this stuff with ICE is not going to affect us. So why worry? They're telling their wives they're overreacting about the murder of Renee Nicole Good. It just makes me think about like all of the men who, when it's like hurricane season, they're like, I'm going to hunker down here in my home and I'm going to protect my home from fucking nature. Or it's not going to be that big of a deal. And then like everybody ends up dying because he's a fucking idiot. And apparently they think the problem is that their wives are too online, too informed. If they were just to put their phones down and, I don't know, pick up their needlepoint like a good little girl, then all of this would go away. Question for those pending ex-wives. Did you always know that your husband was a bitch ass deep down inside? Or have there been bitch ass signs in the past and this was just the straw that broke the camel's back? Sound off in the comments. And for those of you who have husbands that are rising to the occasion and
So white women are leaving their husbands. Let's talk about it. It has been fascinating to watch the content unfold. The fascinating part, and none of this is surprising if you've been paying attention, and if you are a white person who has at least attempted to unpack all the things that you've learned through white supremacy and unlearn those things. Like, this is not surprising at all. I think back to my girlhood, my teenage years, my young adult years, and even through today around other white people, where you see these couple dynamics, these heterosexual white couple dynamics where, like, it's almost as though the woman treats the man like he is a blank slate. Even if he votes Republican, we just sort of shove that under the carpet because she's a Democrat, because she's a liberal, because she believes in feminism. And sure, sometimes, they get into a little, but he means well and he loves people and he cares and he's not one of those people. I can't tell you how many white women I have known over the course of my life who have these sort of excuse-making relationships with their husbands or boyfriends or whomever, and say, well, he's not really like that, though. I mean, he's different. I mean, yes, he votes for Republicans, but really that's just about taxes and da-da-da-da-da, and they're just softballing it all the time. And there's something about white culture, what could it be, that expects us to be polite socially and accept that. So if you want to have a friendship with another white woman and she has one of those husbands, you are expected to participate in this pantomime, charades, I don't know, like where you just pretend, that it's fine because he, as an individual person, is a good guy, right? He loves her. He's a good guy. He cares about people. He's not an evil monster. There's just a little bit of a, disagreement about politics, but that's really, but he cares and his heart's in the right place. And sometimes he's even voted for a Democrat. 2020 was an exceptionally difficult year for the white women who invest in these kinds of relationships, these see no evil, hear no evil relationships, right? Because they couldn't have those conversations at home, really. Like, white people need to get involved. We need to unlearn our racism. We need to unpack white supremacy culture. Comply or die is not the way that Americans should be living. And it was a very uncomfortable, intense time. And I feel like a lot of those women wrote it out. They just sort of let it go, drifted off. But now a white woman was murdered by law enforcement, was murdered by an agent of the federal government in front of the world, and he is not being held responsible. And they can't look away now because they see themselves as sitting in the front seat of that car. For the first time, they see themselves, and they expected their husbands to see them there too. And we're still genuinely surprised to find out that no, he's exactly who he's been telling you he is. And now you have to leave him. But I do think that for a lot of white people, they need a moment of reckoning. And that is going to look different for different folks. And maybe I wish that they could have caught on sooner. But if this is what it takes for them to finally start to have that reckoning, then I guess it's all to the good in the end. What I want to say to other white women is never forget and always be cognizant of the amount of bullshit that we inflict upon the rest of the world who wait patiently for us to catch up with what the global majority already know. I just want to add this little tidbit of advice to other white women. Every time I feel like I have some sort of a breakthrough, I have to take a pause and examine, where did this come from? And then where was I blind along the way? Where did I not see it? I think it's really important that we get there, but I think it's even more important that we understand why it took us so long. What were the barriers? What were the roadblocks? What were our blind spots? Why didn't we see it earlier? To all the white women who are leaving their husbands, girl, good for you. And also, take some time to think about how you got here in the first place. Because I guarantee there are other areas of your life, there are other aspects, there are other things that you're doing, that you're engaged in, beliefs and opinions that you hold, that now might be a good time to kind of examine those things.
Hey, so you know how white women are finally getting really fucking fed up of their white husbands telling them that they're overreacting to what's happening in America, and the divorce rate is spiking and is going to continue to spike because they're like, I bought into the patriarchy enough to believe that you were going to actually protect me. And now that there's actual danger at my doorstep, you're telling me I'm being an emotional woman. So yeah, that's a real thing that's happening. Look it up. Women are filing for divorce a lot right now, and I'm here for it. But there's also a parallel happening in corporate America, okay? White women are just the last ones to wake up. We're slow to the uptake, okay? Black women realized this a long time ago. They've been leaving corporate America in higher numbers and starting their own businesses because they realized how toxic it was. And a lot of these Black women and Black executives who I worked with worked in roles where they really thought they could make a difference. They were in people development or DEI, right? Or leadership. And they realized that it was all just PR. It was all part of the same fake machine. And I don't align with that. And they're just gaslighting me. So a lot of Black women left corporate America, started their own businesses, are out doing their own side hustles. And white women are finally fucking waking up too. That the patriarchy is not going to protect us. We're just the last ones it stomps. The last ones it stomps. And now corporate America is stomping us. Okay? And we're oh shit. Oh shit. So I think we're going to see not even a higher number of divorces from white women, but I think we're going to see a much higher number of white women saying this to corporate America and to those systems. And it's just, I mean, it's about time. We're very, very slow.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Honestly, I'm not going to say that their reasons for divorcing their husband is not 100% genuine. I'm not going to say that, okay? If I say that, that means I'm a very insensitive person. In fact, if I say that, that means I am wicked. But using the death of Renee, because most of the videos that I saw, I don't know about you, is them using the death of Renee, okay? And if you guys do not know, Renee is a lady that ICE agent recently pupilled, and she's a white woman. It has sparked a lot of reaction. It has sparked a lot of controversies online. Okay, so the problem is using the death of Renee to not see it now as an eye opening to theirself is what I'm kind of not too comfortable with, right? Because I can tell you for a fun fact, these people have literally bragged. If you think I'm lying, go watch. Except maybe TikTok has brought down maybe some of their videos. They have literally bragged that instead of some of them, let me not say all of them, some of these white folks are literally brag that instead of them to get married to a black person, they will prefer to get married to their breed. They will prefer to get married to their race because of the privilege aspect of it, because of the fact that according to them, 70 to 80% of black parents are single parents, that you can literally not see any black child and then you ask him, is it that you're hearing my parents are single parent, blah blah blah, east west north and south. So now coming to use the death of this lady as an elastic measure to say, oh, I spoke with my husband and my husband feel like he didn't really give me a particular response I'm looking out for. He feels so reluctant about it, and for the fact that my husband is a high profile MAGA person, I'm going to be divorcing him, or I'm already divorcing him, is what I really do not understand. Is what is trying to tell me that you people are really really wicked. You're trying to use someone's situation obviously to use it as an opportunity for you to leave your toxic marriage, because you cannot tell me that this is just the only reasons why a lot of them are divorcing. Is it that their marriage is toxic, or is it that something is wrong somewhere that they do not literally want to the world to know, but or they don't want their friends or their family members to know? So then I use the opportunity to be like, oh, since I spoke with him about this and he's a high profile MAGA, blah blah blah. You knew he was a MAGA. You knew everything he was doing. He was in line with what the Orange Man is doing. You knew he actually supported this right from time. So why is it her death now that is not making every single one of you to get a wake-up call, coming here acting all sober? In fact, I didn't even stitch so many video because I don't want to get pissed off, because there are some things I see, and once I see that it is coming from the hypocritical level, I don't even go close to it at all. So this is the reason why that a lot of them are divorcing. This is the reason why they said their husband is no longer paying attention to when they are saying, oh, this can actually happen to us as well. It has happened to one of the white person. It can happen so if it was happening to only black people, you wouldn't have been able to say anything or divorce that your marriage. Now you're able to divorce that your marriage because it's happening to someone like you. It's happening to someone that has privilege, as you guys literally target, because that is what you guys target, of which I don't see any privilege there. As far as I'm concerned, I'm sorry if I'm roughing on anyone's shoulder. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section, because this is just for educational purposes. I love it whenever I bring content here. Let's digress, let's digest it together. Let's understand the parts that each and every one of us is coming from. Do you think that these are reasons that they are giving in terms of divorcing their husbands or their men, blah blah blah? Do you think that it is actually absolutely a genuine reason? I really want to hear from you. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking my videos, dropping commentaries, sharing my videos, joining my membership, dropping super thanks. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best, and I really really appreciate you guys for every single thing that you guys are literally doing for me. And for disclaimers, please, this is just for educational purposes, not to come here defame anyone, not to come here make anyone feel uncomfortable, not to come here and on anyone, right? So this is just for educational purposes only. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Anyways, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys, and let me know your honest truths in the comment section. Like, I want to get every single details comment from you, because your comment is very important to me. And if you know me, I don't joke with my comment sections. I learn from comment section. I reply, we interact as well.